You boys know what's about to happen to you. You leave now.
Some consider these traits to be toxic, such as undesirable in the men of today. We consider these traits such as these not only to be desirable, but to be appreciated and celebrated. Welcome to the Toxic Male Appreciation Show, hosted by and La Reina Creole. Welcome to the safe space for the toxic male.
Well, hello, and welcome everyone to my channel. I'm the Reina Creole, and I have my wing woman of positive fandom. And of course, this is the Toxic Male Appreciation Show, where we appreciate those traditional masculine values that Hollywood has deemed toxic, which we know are not toxic at all. Am I right? Did I get that right?
I think you got that. You hit the nail on the head, Lorena. It's not toxic traits at all. These are all the things we love in the men in entertainment, Lorena, and there's so much to talk about.
So much, especially as we are getting back to talking about one of our favorite entertainment genres, and that would be Indian cinema. I know it's been a little bit, but we're back, and the reason that we are back is that there's a little movie. I say little like that. A little movie that has come out starring Shah Rukh Khan, I should say, Bollywood megastar Shah Rukh Khan. And what makes this so interesting is that I have to say that this is probably the first Bollywood movie where I have seen not online ads, but with respect to American theaters, that it's been in a much bigger publicity push that Disney gave Brahmastra. As a matter of fact, and hopefully by the time I upload this to YouTube, I'll have a video clip to show you. When I was over at Universal Orlando, there's this big, huge Cinemark theater. Now that's a huge tourist corridor, right?
Yeah.
Pathaan was playing on, I think, 3 screens.
Wow.
So it was right up there with all of the other Hollywood films. And honestly, I think that really is in response to Americans finding out about the likes of RRR. And we actually reacted to the trailer for this film a couple weeks back, I believe.
Yes, we did. And it seems pretty clear, Lorena, that things have gone way past Slumdog Millionaire. It's gone way past Lion. There's another film that I can't remember the name of, which was also a very popular film recently about an Indian man and his wife who moved to Canada. He's a professor and he ends up moving to Canada. She goes with him. And then after that, she ends up going back to India and she becomes a famous singer. But what's my point? My point is that things have moved quite beyond the notion of, a one and done film for an entire genre when it comes to Indian cinema. And now I think Hollywood, especially since there's been this void of quality entertainment, and whether or not the film is meant to be taken seriously, whether it's a horror film like when you and I watched the other day, that one with the ghost in that particular town, or whether it's something as serious and profound as RRR, what we're seeing is that they are filling a lot of voids in areas in entertainment that people want to see. And not only that, they're still even meeting, these kinds of unrealistic and incredible benchmarks with their films. I'm going to make a story and I'm going to have the most incredible dance number you've ever seen in it. Gee, it's not easy to put on a film anyway. Now we're going to add that level of complexity to it, and costuming and everything that goes along with it. Lorena, this is a very special time, I think, And maybe Hollywood could learn a lot from how these films are made and the impact it's having, especially for people like you and I who like to watch streaming. I know you said it was in the theater, but also for those of you who have Netflix and streaming, these streaming things where Netflix has an incredible amount of Indian cinema, Asian cinema, let's say Asian cinema, which is the truth, is not just Indian, but Lorraine, it's such a great time to be a fan of this genre.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that we love to do on this show is that even if you can't see this particular movie in the cinemas, guess what? We're going to point out to you where you can see some of Shah Rukh Khan's films on Netflix, a few that we've actually had a chance to check out. So, without further ado, let's find out about this Bollywood megastar that some of our viewers have known for years, and some of us who are just now starting to see, find out who this talented actor is. First of all, hello, DK Greek 94. Hey, Lorena, it's D Nice Gamer. We'll try and catch as much as possible. But thank you so much for checking us out here on Twitch. I sure do appreciate it. We surely do appreciate it. So let's get into it, shall we? This is Shah Rukh Khan, actor, producer, dancer. I mean, as you can see by his star meter on IMDb Pro, dude is 100%, 100% up there. And it turns out that you and I actually saw Shah Rukh Khan and didn't know it.
Did we?
We surely did. We surely did. Do you remember this movie right here? Brahmastra.
Yes, I do remember Brahmastra. Deva, 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 da, da, da. That's the song I remember. I think that's the name of the song, but
yes, it is.
My rendition of it just but yeah, I couldn't forget Brahmastra, this incredible film that had so many incredible stars, an incredible story, of the first of a trilogy. Yeah, I remember this film. Was he in this film, Lorena?
He was indeed in this film. And, I think one of our viewers had mentioned it and it completely went over my head because I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I'll put a pin in it and go back and check and see, who he is. But he was actually Mohan. Remember the was it the golden monkey?
Yeah.
I want to say the monkey Astra. He was a I want to say was he like a doctor or archaeologist? But in the openings of the movie where you first notice the link between what's going on with the Astras and what is going on with Shiva, there is this amazing fight scene. And I remember seeing it in 3D and it was absolutely amazing. So there's two things that impressed me. One was the cinematography of this in 3D. The second was the actor himself. Now, we already knew who Amitabh Bachchan was, so you knew who he was, but I did not know who Shah Rukh Khan was. And for the short period of time that he was in Brahmastra, his acting is amazing. It truly is amazing.
Yes, I agree. I had no idea he played this character. Obviously the Astras. He's an Astra, right?
Yes.
The Astras in this movie were unbelievable, along with the fighting scenes and the special effects. And everything was so perfect, the way that they conjured the Astra, so to speak, and that whole application of it into these incredible looking figures, and you really got a beautiful recreation of their powers. And honestly, I haven't seen that before. I thought it was just so perfect and beautiful. And what an amazing thing. I had no idea he was in this film, Lorena.
I had zero idea. And I think that's one of the cool things about getting into this genre when you start to realize who certain actors are. Like I find it funny. We knew who Amitabh Bachchan was because we
Yes.
had seen him before, but Shah Rukh Khan we had not. So I think that was so cool that we saw him, but didn't know who he was at all. So why don't we find out some more
Yes.
about this Bollywood actor? So to kind of remind some of our American viewers, Bollywood movies, they're usually predominantly in Hindi language. RRR is Tollywood, so that's Telugu, just to kind of make that distinction so you guys know. We didn't know in the beginning either, so
Yeah.
we're just passing this on. So Abdur Rahman Shah Rukh Khan, I apologize if I murdered that. I don't like saying people's names wrong. Apparently born in November 1965 in New Delhi to Mirtaj Muhammad Khan and Latif Fatima Khan. As an elder sister, Shanaz spent his early days in Bangalore with his grandparents, and his father used to run a restaurant, so he was a restaurateur. So
Wow.
his parents died, and apparently his sister fell in a depressed state. So Khan, along with his sister, shifted to Mumbai, where Khan started his film career.
Wow. So he went into the performing arts, I guess, maybe to break themselves out of this depressive state. That's very interesting, Lorena. And I'm not quite sure if that's what they're saying in this IMDb, but I sense that there may be something to this. People can get very depressed after losing their parents so soon, one right after the
Mhm.
other. That's remarkable, turning a negative into a positive.
Absolutely, absolutely. That change of scenery, and that really is an interesting note. That it
Hmm.
seems like that's what they wound up doing. So it looks like he appeared in several television serials from '88 to 1990, several different roles, and apparently he is known as King Khan.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
I did
love
not I did not know that one. I didn't know that one. Um, SRK I did know.
it. Hmm.
SRK I did know. Like Ram Charan, he's NTM. So it's kind of like they have like these initials that they use. So SRK, I did know about that. The Badshah of Bollywood, I had not heard of before.
No, I haven't.
No. But the King of Bollywood, I completely understand.
Mhm. Yeah, wow, that is quite a title. And I think that he he deserves it after what I've seen after both of you, after what both of us have seen, just even in one film that he starred in, the amount of work that he puts into these characters is phenomenal. And he's just a natural actor, really fantastic. I don't know. Um, I think that the title must be because of his career. And I've only just started to scratch the surface with the few films that you and I have been watching, Lorena. I can't wait to learn more. What else does it say?
Oh, let's see. During his years in Bollywood, he won 8 Filmfare Best Actor Awards, which is the highest by any actor, and significant box office success. So he started with a film called Diwana in 1992, and some of his other films include Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I haven't seen that one. Om Shanti Om is one that got recommended to me, and we're actually going to go through his filmography in a little bit. Um, I was going to watch that one, but instead another one caught my eye, and we're going to talk about that in
All right.
in a minute. Yes, he's an absolute megastar. And let's see, yep, he is married with 3 children.
Mhm.
His family man. So let's check out some of the other films that he's been in. So I'm trying to decide where I'm gonna start.
Okay.
But actually, I'm going to start with this one with My Name is Khan. And now I have not seen this film. However, it was another one that was recommended to me. So, an Indian Muslim man with Asperger's syndrome takes a challenge to speak to the President of the United States seriously and embarks on a cross country journey. Now, for me, because some I have a couple of nieces and nephews who have Asperger's. That's one thing that really, really interests me in this film. And I'm wondering, not that I doubt it, because the man is extremely talented, to be able to, I guess, to be able to embody what that um, neurodivergent personality is. And I'm intrigued. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but this is one that was highly recommended for me to see.
Wow, it sounds amazing. I mean, not only is he taking on roles of, obviously he sings and he does comedy, but this one seems like a slightly more serious nature, Lorena. And it's not so easy to do these dramatic roles. Going to another country to speak to somebody as important as the president. Certainly, this is a big deal. And I'm just so curious as to how he would approach this role, Lorena. I really would like to see his interpretation of someone who has Asperger's. It would be really interesting to see this.
You know what? Let's watch the trailer. Actually, oh, hello, Ragefire. I've heard of SRV, SRK, not so much. SRV means TV Rayvon. Yeah, most Americans, that's pretty much much it. So tell you what, let's watch the trailer here. This may be muted for those of you on YouTube, but don't worry, you watch our reaction.
After a lifetime of being different, I finally had my happy life.
Oh, okay.
But the day that changed everything, changed the way the world saw us. And it changed.
So this must
the
be
way
in
you looked
relation
at
to 9/11.
Mandira?
मुझे कभी एक मुसलमान के साथ शादी नहीं करनी चाहिए थी. Go right now, go.
I must take this journey, no matter how difficult it is, and then you will love me again.
Would you come with me, sir?
Why are you going to Washington, D.C.?
I'm going to meet the President of the United States. I have something to say to him.
Wow. Now, someone told me that this movie
Right?
was kind of like in the vein of Forrest Gump in a way.
Oh,
Yeah, but a different interpretation.
My name is Khan, and I'm not a terrorist.
oh.
Okay, that's on the list. That's
Yeah.
on the list. So it looks like here in the US, you can only watch it on Prime Video, so you can rent it. Um, like I said, this one was a really, really highly recommended film of Shah Rukh Khan. What were your impressions of the trailer?
Well, initially, I didn't know why he wanted to go and speak to the president, because there are some people, like some very, impressive young people who get the opportunity to speak to, foreign nationals and presidents and things like that. And that does happen. And it is a big deal in their lives. They get to meet somebody as influential as the president, or, you know, or even the king or something like that. So that was not a surprise to me. What I didn't realize is that obviously he's going there because he feels that he has to let everyone know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with him and his family and, you know, people who are Muslim. So this is, you know, I think it is an important message, especially in 2010 when there was still so much fear, unfortunately, surrounding people who practice that faith. And so, you know, it was kind of an unfounded fear in a lot of senses. And I think that to reach out, knowing what it could cost him, knowing the danger it could put him in, for him, it was just something he had to do. I think this is going to be an incredible performance that he gives. Very different from from a lot of things I've been seeing him in recently, but you know, this really is, they have down that it's an adventure and a drama. It is, it's all of these things, but also a romance, Lorena. Is there romance in this?
You know, there's always a romance in a Bollywood movie. That kind of like over the top, the kind of over the top romance. But I think one of the things that complicates, or not say complicates, puts an additional layer on it is that this is a neurotypical man. So there's already certain stereotypes against that particular personality type. So, like I said, I just think that it's amazing with his acting to be able to embody that type of personality. It is definitely different from most of the stuff that I've happened to see Shah Rukh Khan in, and I am highly interested in seeing this, folks. You want to watch this on Amazon Prime, definitely for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely for sure. So let's see, what's the next one? Oh, he's got two movies one in production and one in post-production. Not surprised. Actually, from what I understand, Shah Rukh Khan had actually taken a break from acting. And I believe Pathaan was his first action venture, one that he came back with, which is interesting. For those who don't know, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, you hear Pathaan, think Mission Impossible. That's kind of like in that vein. Of course, we saw him in Brahmastra, of course. Lal Singh Chadha, the interesting thing with this one is that he's in it, but he's not the primary character that is in it. So me being superficial, I said I'm going to skip that one. I said I'm going to totally skip that one.
Fair enough.
And the one that I wound up watching was this one called I'm probably going to murder this, Swades or Swades. I'm not quite sure exactly which one it is, but this one says original title Swades, We the People. Now, the reason that this one sucked me in from the beginning is that this man, he's an Indian scientist and he actually works for NASA. So I had to watch that on general principle. I had to go. Yeah, had to go and check that out. And the cool thing is like he finally gets approved to become a US citizen. But what he's thinking about is it's the anniversary, I think, of the death of his parents. And all he can think about is the nanny that he like emotionally distanced himself from. And all he can think about is he feels that he's failed her by just being so wrapped up in his own grief and with his work that he makes it a point to go back to India to find her, because this woman was basically like a second mother to him, and he feels derelict in his duty, I would say, as a surrogate son, that that he didn't stay, that he didn't stay in touch with her because she wrote him and everything, but he just didn't connect with her. It's so touching. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you guys watch the trailer first, and I'll talk about it a little bit more.
मैं नहीं मानता हमारा देश दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा देश है।
लगान के लेखक और निर्देशक की नई फिल्म। ये कहानी है।
He's also famous for a movie called Lagan, which I'll pull that one up. It's vehicle assembly. He used to work there. And that is his nanny. She was in an old folks home.
लेकिन एक घटना है उसे
Excuse me, परंपरा और संस्कार की बिना हमारा देश यूं होता जैसे आत्मा बिना शरीर।
And she is actually a teacher. Very interesting how these two met.
बदलने वाला नहीं तो बदलना ही नहीं चाहता।
उसमें बदलाव हुआ।
It's basically he goes home and starts to see, I mean, after living in America for such a long time, it's like he wants the best. He wants the best kind of like for his people, and is like a champion for education. He runs into this teacher who she kind of has a different view. So the way that the two of them butt heads, and initially the reason why the two of them butt heads is because when Shah Rukh Khan's character goes to get his nanny from this this old folks home, turns out she's gone. She left with some other person. That teacher was the other person because of and I'm forgetting, because of a connection that she has to her, because she had lost her parents. So she was like, I need her. And Shah Rukh Khan character like, no, I need her. You don't need her. I need her. Well, if you needed her, you shouldn't have left. I mean, there's that romantic comedy element. So it's a great slice of life movie to watch. Champions of our kids need to have greater education, in order to bring up the country. It's like the village keeps having blackouts, and at the same time, the nanny is just so proud of what Shah Rukh Khan's character does, as he's, NASA engineer. She talks about them, and it's a wonderful story of just the respect that a man has for his surrogate mother and love for his people. So this was, I want to say, his performance in this. No wonder it was so good in My Name Is Khan. It was still funny, still quirky, but still a great story to watch. Yes, with at least 3 dance numbers in it. With at least 3.
Well, it sounds interesting. I definitely want to see this film as well.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful scenery, and great movie to watch. Again, on Netflix, y'all.
Wow.
So definitely check this out. Hey, Darth Megatron 69 says, hey, there's 60 ladies on my screen. Yes, we are talking about Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan, kind of going through a little bit of his filmography, considering that Pathaan is in theaters, not only in theaters in India, but worldwide, and a huge push here into theaters here in the US. So the next movie is Om Shanti Om. Now, again, this is one that was recommended to me to watch. And the first thing that I saw when I looked at the cover art was I thought like solid gold,
Yeah.
disco.
Absolutely. It certainly looks colorful. It looks playful. It's a dance number. It does have that 70s feel.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. So apparently in the 1970s, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Om, an aspiring actor, is murdered, but is immediately reincarnated into the present day. He attempts to discover the mystery of his demise and find Shanti, the love of his previous.
Aww.
So let's
That's so sweet.
check out the trailer, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Take a little look. Trailer. Let's start. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the clothes. Oh, the clothes. He's even got the medallion and everything. That must be the best friend. Oh, okay. Dude, it's like you're too extra.
Oh, this must be Shanti.
Yes, oh, it's beautiful. His dream girl.
Oh my gosh.
Well, now. Well, I didn't see this coming. Okay, that dance number looks too much fun.
ये है ओम शांति ओम का सेट हिंदुस्तान के सबसे बड़ी फिल्म का सबसे बड़ा सेट
This looks like fun.
इस कहानी का अंत में इसमें खुद लिखूंगा
Yeah, we gotta see this one.
अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त
Yeah. Coming this Diwali. That is interesting. Again, how many, well, not surprising considering here in the US how many movies are released like around Christmas. So I believe Brahmastra was, well, Brahmastra was released not near Diwali. I think it was another festival, but it's interesting. Again, some things are common, like big movie premieres around, major holidays.
Yeah, Diwali. I don't know when that is, but gee, I can't wait for Diwali. Of course, I know this film has already been released, but it sounds like fun, like coming this Christmas or something like that. Certainly am excited. I'm sure a lot of people want to go see this. I hope he finds the girl of his dreams again.
I hope so. I hope so. This looks like a lot of fun. Again, folks, this is Om Shanti Om, and you can watch it on Netflix. So let's see. Why don't we get to the movie that, I got a bunch of recommendations. My name is Khan. I decided not to rent that. There was Lagan. There was Om Shanti Om. I mean, all of these that got recommended to me. I watched Swades because, hey, NASA was involved. But the movie that made me hit the play button
Yeah.
was Chennai Express. Now, I will wholeheartedly admit half of the reason, or part of the reason I wanted to watch this, I have some coworkers who live in Chennai over in India.
Uh-huh.
So that immediately caught my eye. But the artwork on the poster,
Yeah.
I,
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
it just looks like a fun just something fun to sit back and watch. You got a movie that involves a train. I mean, kind of like Bullet Train, but not completely. But you kind of like in a bottle, so to speak. But wow, what were your impressions of this film? First of all, yes, you have got Shah Rukh Khan and Deepika Padukone, I believe. She's beautiful. She's absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. Stunningly gorgeous. In a nutshell, spoiled brat of a man child raised by his grandparents. All I'm going to say is how his grandfather went out. It was funny. It was absolutely funny. But his job is his grandmother tasked him with the task of taking half of his ashes to his grandfather's hometown. Well, dude got things to do. He's got his boys he's supposed to be going to party with, right? They can't have to go all the way down to this like town out in the middle of nowhere. But guess what? He's got to come up with a rather nefarious plan in a way. Did he not?
Yeah, and it is very funny. It is a rather serious situation, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching who have been in this situation where you're asked. I said, "Can you please take some ashes and put it near the old homestead or something like that?" It's
Mhm.
not so far fetched or an unusual request or something that isn't done on a regular basis. What makes this funny is just the types of trials and tribulations he gets involved in along the way. And he's just unbelievable with what he's expected to do and what he has to go through. But and he, along with the cast of characters, Lorena, is what makes this film so incredible. I think they had an incredible time filming this. This must have been one of those films where everybody had a great time and enjoyed this. How could you not, when you see this film, anybody, after having watched it, anybody who sees this film, you just absolutely love it. It's just absolutely hilarious. And, they're not expecting you to believe everything in the film. They just want you to enjoy the entertainment. They want you to have fun with this. They want you to, have a laugh and, just enjoy this whole thing. It certainly is very interesting to see how he navigates the different types of people and personalities in the movie as well, Lorena.
Absolutely. I mean, it's again, like you were saying, it's a very serious task juxtaposed against the fact that this young man, for lack of a better term, really doesn't take it that seriously, and it's just cramping his plans until
Yeah.
fate intervenes, and it's just a comedy of errors from then on down. Shah Rukh Khan, for some reason, he gives me Jackie Chan vibes.
Yeah. He has that comedy jokiness to him that Jackie Chan does seem to have. And I think you're spot on in regards to the impression that he gives you, perhaps, and maybe even in this film of being somebody who's maybe always looking on the bright side of things, no matter what. He's like, I'm just going to do what I have to do. And, oh, this happened. Okay. And he just navigates the world with ease, no matter what's thrown his way, more or less.
I just to show you an example of how funny it is, because I'm trying not to spoil this movie because it, trust me, it gives me Romancing the Stone vibes in a way too, from just the way these two characters are and how they interact with each other. I mean, he's on the train and he sees this girl, you know, and he's talking. He's just like, I'm speaking in Hindi. She probably doesn't even understand what I'm talking about. I'm thinking, how much do you want to bet she does know what he's talking about?
Yeah, like
That
in their country, don't a lot of people speak like 3 and 4 languages. It's not unusual. and
none.
and English on top of all of it, right?
Yes, and English on top of that too. So I'm just like, bruh, are you that's very risky what you're doing right there. And it turns out she understands him completely. But you don't find that out right away though. And the circumstances of how she's on the train and it just all goes from there. It's such a comedy of errors that happens. All of the characters have a purpose. Even the villagers have a purpose.
Yes.
You know, and in the end, even the diesel smugglers on the boat headed to Sri Lanka, they actually have a great part to play. But Shah Rukh Khan in this movie, I would say definitely cements in my mind why he is the king of Bollywood movies. I mean, Bollywood movies are very big spectacle dance numbers. Of course, there's dance numbers also in Telugu and Canada films as well. Though those seem to be much more serious and with, I would say, more technical choreography. It's amazing choreography. With Bollywood films, it's very flashy, all of that. By the way he just acts, keeps things lighthearted even when things are serious. He is an absolute showman. There's just no other way I can think to really put it. What do you think with watching Chennai Express? What did this do for, I would say, how you see Shah Rukh Khan?
Yeah, he's a man of many talents. I think that, a lot of times people equate excellent actors with drama, which is true, but it's even harder to do this comedy constantly performing in every scene. It's a lot of physical acting, Lorena, in his performance,
Hmm.
where he has to constantly change positions all the time, trying to get his point across. And it's so physically demanding that it's like acrobatics in a way. I think that he covers a lot of bases in a lot of ways that people want to see somebody who's comedic, but they also want to see somebody who has a little bit of sensitivity to him, and he comes across, maybe he's a little twinge of sensitivity, just a little bit of vulnerability, ironically, in a lot of his characters, and people kind of read into that and like that. He's not a perfect person. He's certainly not perfect in this film. He's
Mm-mm.
he's someone who is doing the best he can, and sometimes when he sees things and he's surprised or upset or whatever, it is really interesting to see his response, because he kind of finds himself thrown into this world of adventure. That's what it says, action, comedy, drama, but I also want to put down adventure into this, because it feels very adventurous and all these amazing things that happen, um, as far as I'm concerned. So, so there is that. But yeah, I think it's almost like an adventure that he's going on, except it's not a choose your own adventure. Like all this stuff is happening to him, and he has to play along with this. So
He does. Like when he gets drunk and he wakes up on a boat.
yeah,
And there's no shoreline anywhere whatsoever, and he freaks out. To the one scene which is probably, I would say, my favorite, just because I love those scenes in movies where you see a change in one of the characters. You can tell there's a change in the relationship. And that's the ritual where the husband has to carry the bride all the way up these steps. And Shah Rukh Khan lets it known how many steps there actually are when he's doing this, carrying her all the way up to the temple, and just how determined he is to do all of that. And I just thought it was just, again, I'm not spoiling. I'm just saying that when you see that part, it's so wonderfully shot. It's so wonderfully performed that you buy into, the female love interest. You totally buy into her reaction. I'll just put it
Absolutely.
to you like that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that there's a lot of relationship building in this story, and
Hmm.
considering the events, which many of them, which are traditional, um, are are not necessarily situations that are often made fun about, but we find that it's done here. And, it is something that he has to deal with and handle, but it certainly isn't a boring ride to watch because of all the different twists and turns. It's it's a Mission Impossible comedy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to get to like those toxic male traits, like he takes it very seriously to to protect this woman. He makes fun of her, but he likes being around her. Also with his grandmother, you can tell, even though he acts like a complete jerk on the outside, that he doesn't like the idea of not being completely honest with
Yes.
her, especially when he asked, why don't you do this with the ashes? And she said, you're the only person that I can trust to
Oh,
carry out your grandfather's wishes. And you can tell he's just like, "Ugh, okay, yeah, I'm a real jerk for wanting to go, you know, hang out with my friends." Or things like that. Again, Bollywood movies have this wonderful balance between masculine and feminine energy, and it's one of those things that we used to have in Hollywood. And of course, Shah Rukh Khan is very masculine. Makes it known that that's exactly what he is. He's not ashamed of it. Love how it comes across. In the movies, even when there's dudes bigger than him.
it does matter because he's doing things really that only a man could do, and I know that. I think you probably feel the same way. It's impressive in what he can accomplish, and I think the character believes that he can do anything, and
Mhm.
that is maybe one of the most amazing things to watch. Maybe he can. Maybe this guy really can.
You just want to see him do it.
Mhm. Yes. And so, I think that carries over as well. And so then it doesn't become unbelievable that he's dealing with all these different, actions and events. And,
Mhm.
it kind of, you start to believe in like, yeah, this is just another day for him.
Just another day for this dude. Um, so folks, yeah, if there was one, and this is just me, if there was one Shah Rukh Khan movie that I would recommend that you watch on streaming before you go watch Pathan, I would say Chennai Express is definitely one of those films. I enjoyed it. I laughed so hard.
And you can watch this one with your family too. This one, I would say,
Absolutely.
is definitely, it's, something, it's almost Disney quality. I mean, there are some mature themes, but
Hmm.
the comedy and what happens has a Disney-ish feel to it. No, we're trapped, in the middle of an island, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of a
Hmm.
lightning storm, and there's a tornado coming. Like it's very kind of mystical in that regard, just in its entertainment value. but it's not meant to be taken. A lot of the things are not meant to be taken too seriously.
Yes. Yes. And that's the light brevity, kind of part of that with this film. So definitely do check this out. This came out in 2013. Again, you can watch it on Netflix, which brings us to the current film that is out with Shah Rukh Khan, and that would be, of course, Pathaan.
Yes.
I hope I'm saying this right. As you can see, popularity is absolutely, absolutely crazy. Indian spy takes on the leader of a group of mercenaries who have nefarious plans to target his homeland.
It's coming out.
Wow.
Did it? It came out just now.
Came out last Wednesday.
Oh my God.
Came out Wednesday. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm
And
still jamming from the music of it.
I know the music. Whoever between the music to the visuals to all of that. I mean, it just looks freaking amazing. Ragefire says it's giving me Marble Crossbow vibes.
Mm.
It's the effects are just insane, and kind of like I said earlier, I was at Universal Orlando last Saturday. Happened to walk by the theater, and they had this movie playing on like three screens, and just to show you how big it is, per Variety, Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan shatters Hindi film opening week box office record.
Not surprised there. And Lorena, I'm pretty sure that's the guy who was in the swimsuit by the pool, because I could recognize that body anywhere. But what I can say is that what an incredible film. It's badass. It's cool. It's sexy. It's it's hot. It's completely energetic and fun loving, and just taking chances and risks. I'm not surprised that this film shattered the box office record. Honestly, it's going to keep breaking records. If this has this quality of production, this quality of performances, this is just so cool. It's nice to see him in this incredibly toxic male role here.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, it's so freaking toxic. And you know what? One of our viewers, and I'm forgetting who commented, basically said, and I love it because you hit like all of our videos that we did for Indian cinema pretty much, and was just like, ladies, if you like toxic men, you have got to see Shah Rukh Khan in Pathaan. I'm like, yeah, that's on my list. Thank you for reinforcing what I've already thought. But yeah, totally, totally, totally toxic. Makes you think of Mission Impossible. Also reminds you why movies like Top Gun Maverick are doing so well. I mean, just to talk a bit more about this movie. So Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan has shattered the opening week box office record for Hindi language films, grossing 77.4 million. On day 7, the film grossed 3.4 million in India and 1.8 million internationally. So, I mean, just to, I guess a little bit earlier, it grossed 66.5 million after 5 days of a release. And on day 5, the film collected 8.5 million in India and 5.1 million internationally. Now that's Variety. So let's flip over here to Deadline. Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan makes box office history for Bollywood in India around the globe, opening weekend records list. So it's got like, let's see, 5-day opening weekend, because apparently I think it was a holiday. I think it's Republic Day, I think, in India. And 66.24 million worldwide, including 25.5 million outside of India. And just to kind of roll it down like a little bit little bit more. Let's go down here. Let's see. India, biggest debut ever for an original Bollywood film. Let me blow this up because you guys probably like I'm going blind. Biggest debut ever for an original Bollywood film and gross. Here they translate actually into dollars, so 43.6 million. Fastest to cross 100 crore. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's the Indian money currency in
Mhm.
2 days, 204 days, 250 in 5 days. So let's go to North America because that's where we are. Biggest opening weekend for Bollywood.
Not a surprise there.
6.9 million Wednesday through Saturday. No, wait, 6.9 million, then Wednesday through Saturday, 9.4 million. Biggest Saturday, 2.86 million, and biggest Sunday, 2.16 million ever for a Bollywood film.
Wow, that's incredible. And look at what they're saying pretty much that people are loving this film internationally. It looks unbelievable. I'm sure people are just so surprised at how cool it is. And seeing that picture that they show of him, it's kind of like on his boat or his yacht or whatever it is with his shirt. It was a little Miami Vice, got a little Miami Vice vibe to it too,
This is
Lorena.
true.
And I kind of like it. I think it looks really amazing, and people want to see these entertaining films. I can't wait to see this spy that he plays. This is just remarkable.
Yeah, I am looking forward to a great Saturday of going and checking out this film. I will say that unlike what Disney did with Brahmastra, there seemed to be much more publicity about Pathaan, especially considering how many theaters that has been put in here here in the United States. So, folks, I am very excited to check out this movie, but even more excited to go back and watch other things that Shah Rukh Khan has been in. And I would highly implore those of you who are looking for really good entertainment. There's so much available in Indian cinema, and Shah Rukh Khan's performances are definitely something to take note of.
Absolutely, Lorena. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be enjoyable. It's going to be fun. He looks like the boss here in this black top and pants.
How
just,
toxic is that pose going on? Yeah.
dancing, getting all the ladies' attention. All eyes are on this man. Certainly, it just looks like such a fun ride. We want to join the party. I want to join that party, Lorena.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Party.
want to get in on that guest list for sure.
That's right.
All right, folks. Well, any last words about our
Yeah.
toxic male subject for the week?
Well, I think he's absolutely intriguing, and this might be the year of the Indian international star. I think that they're going to grab a lot of attention because we haven't had a lot of stars being bolstered here in the US. Really, there isn't anybody out there who isn't, unfortunately has a project that's involved in something that's kind of taking attention away from the performer. You and I have talked about how a lot of these stories and that they want to get clicks on and everything, it's just, for the numbers. But honestly, what that does is it takes attention away from the art form.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, you're not talking about the movie anymore. You're not talking about the artist anymore. You're talking about something completely different, and that's not entertainment at all for me, Lorena. I want to talk about this artist. I want to see him wear really cool outfits, jump off of planes, dive into the water, romance girls on the dance floor,
Yep.
take whatever weapons he needs and get the bad guy, and then offer me a fluted champagne glass because that's what he would do. And I would say, thank you so much. And just, yes, that's what we want to see. And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see all of these actors who deserve this attention and, will kind of be making their mark, maybe even for the next 5 years, Lorena, because Hollywood hasn't really bounced back from what's happened. But India seems to
Mhm.
be right on target with everything. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, they just seem to be just backfiring on all thrusters. The quality again is just mind blowing. It's just something else when Hollywood seems to kind of be very risk averse. Indian cinema is taking a lot of risks, and they are definitely reaping the awards to be sure.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to this. Is going to be a fun year. We're going to see things we haven't seen before because it's going to get more attention. I'm kind of hoping we might see some more of these films at some film festivals. You know, sometimes I guess maybe they wouldn't be at that because the film doesn't
Mhm,
necessarily need to be sold to anybody. And so, you know, a lot of times, you know, films will show up at festivals like that just so that they get a buyer. But I don't really think these films have any fear of getting a buyer. I think you know,
mhm,
the idea is mainly just to showcase the film and the impact. For example, no one can deny RRR has had an impact on cinema in 20
mhm,
going into 2023. Certainly, it has had an impact on a film that a lot of people, you know, at first, as the letters grab your attention, just like in my name, you know, but as the letters grab your attention, you realize that it's a little bit more involved than just the name. There's a lot at stake in the film. There's a lot of gravity to it, a lot of amazing
mhm,
effects. It's a costume drama, I guess, maybe more or less. And I think that it really has something for everybody. So I think once we start to get into films like that,
mhm.
people are going to start to realize, yeah, I got to put that one on my list. That's one of the best international films ever made. Certainly is going to be brought more into the spotlight. I think Netflix will be able to hold on to a lot of this Asian cinema. I think, you know, people will want to see and keep watching more and more of it on these streaming channels. So it's going to be maybe even a bigger year for Indian cinema in 2023.
Absolutely, absolutely. Folks, definitely check out Shah Rukh Khan's performances in those various movies. Of course, you can check out his page on IMDb. Definitely check out Chennai Express. Definitely check out Om Shanti Om. My name is Khan, Swades. And of course, check your local movie theaters for Pathaan. That looks like that's gonna be a good time. So definitely do check it out. So folks, that is going to end our episode of Toxic Male Appreciation for the week. Why don't you tell the folks where they can find you?
Well, guys, you can always find me on my YouTube channel, Positive Fandom, where I do all the parlay in the fandom on my show, Sunday Brunch, but also with watch parties as well. Lorraine and I are going to do a watch party on Sunday for The Last of Us, and I sure hope that The Last of Us is great this week episode for Lorraine. Let's hope it picks up things, but you can also find Lorraine and I on the Burn Network on Monday nights for our
Mm.
show, Ladies of the PGS, as well as tomorrow. Well, I don't know whether this will air for, but on Friday, if you are watching this, it's probably already happened. Check out the Burn Network's PGS Moving Image Show, where it features Lorraine, Cameron, Retro Nurgle, and myself as we talk about the importance of the Planet of the Apes cinematic IP legacy. So there is that, as well as on my channel, I'm doing a series with Dark Plato on Napoleon and Bonaparte, a love story. So there's a lot
Mm.
going on, as well as here on Lorraine's channel. You can always find me here and the 1/6 Scale Man Network. So please do check it out.
Wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely. Check out Positive Fandom channel. Subscribe to her on Twitch and YouTube. Of course, you can find me on the Twitter, on the YouTubes, of course, on Instagram as well. Various live streams, videos I do with myself, lots of panelists, and on the regular with her here of Positive Fandom. We do, oh my gosh, lately we've been doing so many watch parties. It's just fun. Watch parties with your friends. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more than that. And let's see. Hey, Amanda says, oh man, coming in at the end. Just saw the notification on my phone. Sure was a great stream. Have a great day. Well, my dear, no worries. No worries. Hope you enjoy the replay. All right. Well, folks, again, thank you so much for being here. Yes, happy Groundhog Day to all of you. And we, of course, will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.